Hello and welcome. I am Madhuri, and every Sunday I publish helpful videos about academics, career, and self-development. I also guide quite a lot of professionals and students with their career navigation, and consulting seems to be one of the most sought after industries. People often write to me asking questions such as, what is consulting? What do consultants do? How can I get into consulting? What does the career trajectory of a consultant look like? If these questions sound familiar, then this video is for you. Today we have a special guest with us who will help us understand the basics of consulting and how to navigate your career as a consultant. She is a CA and MBA who spent 10 years as a management consultant with two Big Four consulting firms. She is also the founder of Beyond Good, an online platform that helps consultants succeed in their career via articles, free downloads, and e-courses. But most exciting aspect is she is also a fellow ISB alumna, and it's always exciting for me to talk to my alma mater. Please welcome Punya Sandhu. Hi Punya, thank you so much for joining us here today. 10 years in the consulting industry, right? That's like quite a lot. Do you want to start by telling us what consulting is?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say consulting is advising organizations and problem solving to create efficiency and growth. That's my 10 word. That's my 10 word.
Quite crisp indeed, yes. So how did you decide that you want to be a consultant?
To be honest, I wanted a change in career after the MBA. So I graduated from ISB in 2010, and I wanted to try out a different career path. And at the placement season where I got the opportunity to interview with one of the Big Four consulting firms, and after that I joined that firm and spent about 8 years with them.
So for most part of your career, you worked as a management consultant. Are there any other types of consultants as well?
So management consulting, I would say, is like the umbrella term that includes your strategy consulting, your transformation consulting, change management engagements. So all of those types of engagements actually fall into the bucket of management consulting. They're just a little different in terms of their timelines, in terms of the approach and how you're advising the client.
Okay, that's like so many options. It's really interesting, and people would be spoiled for choice, right? With so many options available. So how can someone who is, let's say, not having an MBA background, or someone who is coming from a different industry, or someone is an external hire, how can they get into consulting? Are there any specific skills that one should have to get into consulting?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll touch upon the skills first, and then I'll talk about how you can position yourself into consulting. So the main skills that you need to showcase in an interview are whether you can lead teams or not, whether you can manage projects or not, whether you've been in a client-facing environment or not, whether you are, you can deal with change well, you can deal with ambiguity well. You can adjust to new surroundings, right? And also about your communication and interpersonal skills, those should come out in an interview, because what firms look for is somebody who they can, just put in a client project and have them lead the client project day one, or contribute to it in a major way if you're joining at a consultant or lower level. So that's what firms look for. And as an external hire, I think if you've never been in consulting, or if you're a non-MBA and you don't have that opportunity to sit for placements like I did, to pivot your career, I think what you should do is leverage your network and see if you're connected to anyone who is already in consulting or knows anybody in consulting, and have probably like a one-on-one and go from there.
Yeah, that's really helpful, and I'm sure our viewers will find this piece of information helpful, because a lot of them might be from different backgrounds, wanting to find a segue into consulting. So thanks for sharing that, Punya. So let's get a little deeper into the consulting work that someone does as a consultant. What are some types of projects that one does and one can do in consulting?
Mm-hmm. there's a whole spectrum. So I'll just give you a couple of examples. And usually, like in strategy projects, what happens is that you are just advising the client on the direction that they should take. Right? You come in for about 4 to 6 weeks, and you're looking at the key challenges the client is facing or where they've asked you to focus and advise you, and you're creating sort of a roadmap for them that here you go, this is how you should go about it, here's your path, now you can do it yourself. Examples of strategy consulting projects would be, let's say, target operating model optimization project. In a transformation project, what you're doing is you're actually guiding them, you're taking them by the hand and doing it with them. So transformation projects can be anywhere from a couple of months to a couple of years long, depending upon how many geographies are covered or how many areas are covered in that project. And change management projects are when you're literally managing the change in an organization. So they usually run parallel to large-scale transformation or large-scale compliance projects.
When you start with a project, how does a typical life cycle of a consulting project look? How does it start and how does it end?
The life cycle starts with the partner or the senior manager actually selling the project to the client. So that's the phase 0, right? And then they get a team together of the relevant people according to what needs to be delivered. After that, there's usually 3 phases. So in phase 1, the team lands on site and they're trying to, it's more like a discovery phase, that's what it's called. They're trying to really understand, what the challenge is, what the client wants, and they'll do some kickoff workshops to really get people in the room and try and understand, what they're trying to solve for, basically. That lasts about a week. In a typical strategy project. After that, you'll go into a deep dive phase, which is about 3 to 4 weeks at most in a strategy project, because usually the time frame of a strategy project is about 4 to 6 weeks. So the deep dive won't last more than 3-4 weeks. And in that, you're actually having those one-on-one discussions, diving deeper into the problem, looking at the challenges, doing, several analyses, like you could do an activity-based costing analysis, or you could do a gap analysis versus peers. You're comparing industry benchmarks, things like that. And then the last phase is phase 3, is actually the wrap-up, where you're actually presenting the strategy to the client executives, and this is usually the CXO level executives that you're talking to and presenting the strategy.
This all sounds really fast-paced. I mean, 4 to 6 weeks only on a particular project, it's like you're jumping ship quite often, actually. So all of this must be really overwhelming, right? How does a typical day for a consultant look like, and how do you manage as a consultant on a typical day?
Well, it is, it can be overwhelming. You get used to it, and it's I always say that you have to sort of know yourself as a person before you get into consulting, because you really need to be able to keep up with that fast pace. It's certainly not laid back at all. A typical day would be you starting your day at around 8:30, right? Getting into the client side, meeting with your team. Depends what level you're at as well, but usually there's a team meeting to set priorities for the day. And then if you're leading a project, you go meet with the client, sort of get their feedback, if anything has changed. Usually something or the other does change every single day. So either there's, change in priorities or change in scope, or your partner wants something or your client wants something immediately that you have to drop everything and do. So it's very fluid.
For someone who is really interested in meeting new people all the time, making new connections, working in ambiguity, liking challenges, all of this sounds like consulting sounds for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you like to travel, like before COVID, I think like now it's changed a bit, but if you like to travel, I think it's like a really great place to be, especially when you're starting out in your career as well.
So let's say someone is doing everything right that they have to do as a consultant in their career. how can they see themselves progress through the ladder? What does a typical hierarchy look like?
The typical ladder is business analyst, then consultant, then senior consultant, then you go to manager, senior manager, or director. It's synonymous. And then you go to partner or managing director.
What does it typically take for a consultant to be successful as a management consultant?
I keep talking about like the 8 consulting skills, and if you go to my site, you'll probably see a lot of references to that. But over the course of the 10 years that I've worked in management consulting, there are like 8 key skills that every consultant should have and should keep working on as they grow up the ladder. So the first one is storyboarding, which basically talks about how your written presentation and communication is. The second one is your networking, because in consulting that's super important. So if you're consciously doing like a targeted effort with your networking and linking up with the right people, you automatically get the right project. And it took me like 3 years out of the 10 to really understand the power of networking, because I always thought it was a joke when I started. The third is project management. So if you showcase capability to manage projects, and it's not just about status reporting, it's a lot more than that. Then that's something that people trust you with. Managing your teams is another one. Running large-scale client meetings and workshops. As you get more senior, you're expected to facilitate that and actually lead that. And also your brand, right? In consulting, we talk a lot about our brand and what you're known for and what people know you for. So that's something to think about. Your sales is, another factor, and how you go about that. So it's, seeking out the right opportunities, getting involved in the right proposals and client presentations, and actually getting those numbers. And the last one I would say, definitely not the least, is your client relationships, and just building that and knowing how to sort of work with your clients so they give positive feedback, and you in turn can, grow with them as they grow up the ladder themselves.
The one thing actually that I'll take from that answer of yours, Punya, is going to be the networking aspect. It's so important, especially a lot of graduates who are like fresh out of college, very new to the industry, don't take networking seriously. They don't enjoy those networking events as much now because of the pandemic. It's changed. But I cannot stress enough how important networking is. In fact, I had done a video on how you can network on LinkedIn and find the right people to stay connected, because it's all about connections. So if there's one thing that you did not like about your job, about as a management consultant, what would that one thing be?
Usually people enter consulting in their early 20s when they just out of undergrad. I entered consulting as a career switch after my MBA. And, I saw a lot of life changes, like getting married, having my kids. So I had a family like through and through consulting. And so initially, while the travel was amazing and I loved to travel and see new places, meet new people, that was one thing that got a little tedious towards the end, because, with family, it gets a little difficult to manage.
Thank you so much for all of that information, Punya. I mean, it's like a bucket load of information. And I'm sure our viewers are now in a better position and understand consulting a lot better than they did at the start of the video, and almost at the cusp of deciding whether consulting is for them and whether they want to consider it as a career option. Do you want to give it a try to ask our viewers to subscribe to my channel?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Madhuri's got some amazing stuff for anyone who wants to, grow in their career, and her videos are awesome. So please subscribe to her channel, and let's take it to 1,000, guys.
Fingers crossed, yes. Hope you found this entire conversation helpful and you have as much information as you needed about consulting. If you still have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments section, and I'm sure Punya will be happy to answer them for you. You can contact and connect with me on Instagram and LinkedIn. And also please follow Punya on her website, beyondgood.com. I have mentioned all the links in the description box. Here's Punya and I wishing you all the very best for your consulting journey. Thank you so much for watching.